Welcome to Season 4 of Stargate SG-1 on the Wormhole Extremists. Hello, everyone. My name is David Reed. I'm with Nicole Rodriguez-Galdo.
Hello.
And Yvie Cahill.
Oh, that was very atmospheric. I'm very much into
That was
four now. Actually, no, I was
quite
always
the
into season
intro.
4.
Yeah, so
We're all always into season 4.
This is probably my favorite. This is my favorite season of SG-1.
Yes, me too.
Okay,
Close.
wow.
For obvious shippy reasons, but there are just some quality episodes in this season.
The first 7 episodes are just like full of like.
What'd you say? What?
The first 7 episodes are just full of tastiness.
Oh, yes.
Tastiness, yes, agreed. And we meet some very intriguing villains in this season.
There's a lot going on in
there is a lot
this season, and I think that the show really got good at expressing itself on a number of different layers. The characters were already working, but I think that the stories just took a few notches up. You know, Rob Cooper and Brad Wright are in full swing. Jonathan Glassner has moved on at this point. Joseph Malazzi and Paul Mully are coming in as new staff writers. There's a lot of stuff that just works in this season, and I'm thrilled that we've finally gotten to it.
Yay!
Right? So
Season 2 and 3 are a tough time for me, so I'm very happy to.
Oh, you made it through to the other side. Wink, wink.
Wait on
wink,
to
wink.
the other side. Absolutely. No, this is a
good episode.
Good couple of episodes to get started with. You guys doing good? Yes. You guys have a good New Year?
I had an uneventful New Year, a relaxing New Year, surprisingly, but it was something I needed, I think. Yeah. Okay. I actually didn't do anything on New Year's. I watched Back to the Future.
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Adam loves that film. It's all right.
Actually, he went out and spent it with friends, but I just wasn't feeling up to it, so I stayed at home and watched Back to the Future and then
first
Back
one?
to the Future 2.
Oh, it was you.
I watched the first 2. Yeah.
The second one's my favorite.
I respect it.
Really?
I was supposed to go out
like
and then I
the
couldn't be
second
asked.
one as much. The second one just feels like a rehashing of the first one. Like, I don't know.
You think
it's okay.
Oh, come on.
It's okay.
I feel
it's
the same way.
But I prefer
so outrageous.
the first one and the third one. Oh,
okay.
It is nuts. I mean, there's parts of it that are excellent, but it's not my favorite.
The only Western I've ever loved is Red Dead Redemption. So, and it's not even a movie, so.
Yeah. No, I don't think I've seen any playback of that.
It's good stuff. Nicole? How was your New Year?
I did basically what Yvie did. I got rickrolled into the new year by BBC because they decided to have Rick Astley singing, and the first song he sang
fantastic.
Was, so Never Gonna Give You Up.
Oh my God. Seriously? That was how they opened the new year?
He
it was
rickrolled himself.
Played. It was the first, literally the fireworks.
Gosh.
It all stopped. No, he was there. All the fireworks stopped, and then it was like never gonna give, never. And I was like, I can't believe this is how we start the new year.
That is awesome.
That was
what
fun.
a absolute troll that is on your entire
I felt
network.
trolled.
That is. I mean, that's the definition of trolling now. So.
Yeah. A pretty good New Year in the UK, I will say that. That's like the best way to have it come in. So
I have been watching Twin Peaks.
Yes, I saw that on Facebook, and I've never
I
seen
have
it
to
before.
say something. As a person who's been replaying Alan Wake to like the nth degree,
So
it
you've
is
both
inspired
seen it?
by. Yeah. Twin Peaks is inspired. Alan Wake is inspired by Twin Peaks and Stephen King and the Twilight Zone. So like, oh my God, you could not be. We are on the same.
I've heard about
wavelength,
this
David.
thing for years, you know,
Yeah.
and I've got about 8 episodes left of season 3.
Oh wow!
I've never seen anything. Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. And
I know it's
It's wonderfully weird.
It's just
No, go.
I mean, I have almost no words for it because it's just if you've not seen it, you've gotta. Oh man, it's just there's so much thought that goes into just even expressing it. I mean, it's soap opera.
Yeah.
But it's not really science fiction, but it is, you know, it's surreal. Yeah. So you haven't seen it, Yvie?
No, I haven't seen it. My only I guess, benchmark for it is I'm a huge episode of Psych, and they do a Psych episode with some of the characters from Twin Peaks. And they do like almost a play on it, and it's the weirdest episode.
It's extremely strange.
My cousin,
yeah,
my cousin has watched it with her partner, and she's like described elements of it to me.
Yeah.
And it just sounds weird. Like she said that they're very particular about like their camera angles. So you'll have like a character standing there talking, and then in the back there'll be like these like moose like antlers or whatever, and it's like framed perfectly. Like it's kind of like a little bit silly. It's so well done. You kind of have to like appreciate it on that level.
My brain has been broken by this show. So and Rolling Stone rated it a couple of years ago the scariest show of all time.
Oh really?
Yeah, okay. It is nightmare fuel. But that's not like what it's about. It's just a component of it. I can't describe it. So you need to go and check this thing out.
It's just
the first 2 seasons aired in 1990 and 91. And then there was a 25-year break built into the story. And then it came back, and it's just the strangest thing I've ever seen on so many levels. I mean, you have to be practically tripping to get it, but it's good. So
yes,
I highly recommend it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, and it's something different.
Yeah, that's it. Something different.
Yeah, something different. I've literally just been rewatching The Office because I just
not a lot of laughs in Twin Peaks, but yeah, no, The Office. I've not seen The Office.
No.
I've seen individual
so
episodes for sure, but not the whole thing. So
well, we just finished the majority of it. We've got 2 seasons left, which is the seasons without Steve Carell. So they're not as good.
They're not as good.
No. They're not as good. No, and I think the writing staff might have changed. Yeah, it's not quite as it's not peak.
James Spader is in The Office.
Yes, he is.
He's the boss for a while.
He is the boss for a while. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the CEO of the paper company.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those that's on my list to watch, so it's just a matter of getting to it. So we are starting with season 4 in this season. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have your episodes ready to go?
Yep. I do have them loaded. Yes. Are we going to do the images as well?
Yes. That's exactly right.
Thank
you for bringing this up. So I am so out of it. Adam did send me those. Give me just a second here to pull these up. I'm sorry, Adam.
Yes.
We love you, Adam.
Absolutely.
So he's actually been working on the images for a while. He started when we finished off our first season. He started working on season 4. So I think when we had a chat, I think he's more impressed with, I want to say, the first image than the second image.
Give me just a moment here, guys.
He put a lot of work into the second image. I love that word, discombobulated.
It's the truth. So.
I don't even think I can spell it.
Dang it. 1 second here. Okay.
Well, I've got my inbox opened if you're emailing them through.
I am. Okay.
I'm pulling mine up. My inbox.
I am so sorry. I was ready and then I wasn't.
That's okay.
So.
That's okay. Don't you stress.
I'm not stressing. I'm just stressing.
Everyone, tell David to calm down in the chat. Tell him everything's okay.
I don't like wasting people's time. So
yeah, I know.
All right. Just going to go ahead and send these through as they are.
Oh, David started Jedi Survivor the other day.
Briefly,
throw that in.
Very briefly.
Oh, did
That's
you?
That's okay. You started it. It's
That's
a
true.
banger of a game. You take your time.
I'm
and
very as usual. They are extreme. It is extremely well done, and I as an enormous Star Wars fan, I can't recommend them enough. So, okay, guys, you ready to go on these? So I've just gone ahead and emailed them over.
Which email did you send it to?
I'm not sure. That's a great question. I have no idea.
Was it my Google Mail or my Hotmail?
Let me check here. It was.
Might take me a second.
Let me pull this up here. It was your Hotmail.
Hope it was my Hotmail. Right, okay, my hotmail's real slow, so we're gonna take a minute. Oh, Yvie got it. Oh, I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I've got it, but I'm trying not to look. I'm trying not to look.
Does this? Okay, I've got it. I'm trying not to look. Okay, right. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, go ahead and show it. Oh my gosh. What was he thinking?
Captain
Rat.
Oh my god. Oh, that is funny.
Actually really
a slight
amazing.
Submarine nautical component. That's one of
my favorite things ever.
And it's got the sub in the background.
Wow. Wow.
I wonder if he might have been painted the submarine. That is so good though. Oh god, that's like one of my favorite ones he's done, I think.
Adam, you did good.
Oh, there's like a little tear in the corner.
That is actually one of my favorite things in the world. I don't like spiders. Replicators freak the bejesus out of me, but that right there is...
Oh, that is great.
Well done, sir.
Amazing.
This is really cool. So I was interested to see if he was going to take a different approach with the replicators. The last one he did was so friggin' cool. So.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
No, I very much like the direction it went.
You guys want to have a look at...
Did we do them both at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the next one now as well.
Yep. Okay,
yeah.
let's go ahead and look at the other side.
Huh? Let's go look at the other side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that's...
Destroyed city.
It's all just gone, isn't it? Like, it's all
just,
there's barely anything standing. Because they just completely destroyed their own planet because they are nasty racists.
Yeah.
We don't like them.
They did.
Damn.
Wow, that is exactly how I imagined the surface looking like.
Yeah, just like barely anything left. That kind of like dystopian type, thing where it's like they've got to clean up afterwards. Barely anything left. Damn.
The planes look really good as well.
Yeah. They kind of remind me of the style of the ones that you see. Yeah,
they're not like strictly planes. They're kind of plane drones. I remember there's a heavy like Hunger Games influence there, too. So but yeah, this is really cool. This is really
thank you, Adam.
The detail. Yeah, I'm really impressed, man.
Yeah,
he's right. The first one is like the preferred option, but that's only because it's so funny. Annoying humor tends to beat serious good things. It's incredibly frustrating. Both are excellent, but the first one's so funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
You guys ready to roll on this season?
Yeah,
let's dive into season 4.
Right.
Oh, Gene Diarra's here. I can say saucy things about Daniel. Yes.
All right. You guys
say saucy things about Daniel. Oh, actually, one second.
I
just realized my sorry, I typed out all my notes and it doesn't look like my computer saved it properly.
Oh no! Do we have to?
We don't need notes.
It's okay because I emailed it to myself.
Okay. So you're good.
Look at you.
I think I emailed it.
Well, we appreciate you all tuning in. We're apologize for getting started a little late. I had issues here at home, so but we're going to go ahead and get a roll on once Yvie has a green light.
Gets her stuff together. So sorry, guys.
Nope, okay. I've taken my turn, so it's now.
Yeah. Okay.
I think my internet was being bad, so I think
it was
the thing that I had that was bad.
It was jumping a little bit. Yeah. Okay, I'm all good to go.
You're good? All right.
Yeah.
Let's rewatch Small Victories, guys.
Woo woo.
Okay, let's do it.
5, 4, 3. Previously on Wormhole Extremists. Welcome back. My name is David. I'm with Nicole.
Hello.
And Yvie.
Greetings.
And this is Small Victories, season 4 of SG-1. And our previously on. So this is the second time or the third time, I think. I guess because we've had it's more than that because we've had the season 2, season 3. The Nox, or not the Nox.
Yes.
The Tok'ra.
Yes.
And,
yes, the Tok'ra.
The Devil You Know.
Indeed.
Yeah, previously don't come up that often in the early days.
No.
Nice and rare.
Yeah.
Got to appreciate the strength of a two-parter. You get to amortize sets a little bit more. They get to go a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love this opening to season 4.
This is great. The water looks
so good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot when I first watched this, I didn't know what replicators were because I jumped from season 1 to season 4.
Oh, you'd never seen them before.
Literally ruined it for yourself.
Yeah, I saw the previously on. I went, I guess I missed that. I don't have that DVD.
Just ruined your own experience.
They could have really done anything that they wanted with this opening season, and they chose to set it aboard a submarine. I mean, it could have, you know, they could have taken it a number of different ways.
Absolutely.
They could have been claustrophobic.
It's like, how do we get this replicator out of the water?
Yeah.
So, do you know the gag?
I do. I do know the gag.
In the language in Russian, what is it, Yvie?
Yes. So apparently, I was going to bring it up a little bit further down the line when it actually happens, because you can actually pick up one of the words that he says. It sounds like it does in English, but basically, as a spoiler, sorry. Oh my god. Sorry, my notes still are not loading properly.
It's okay.
You're all right.
So basically, one of the officers says something about what could that noise be? And the other replies, maybe these are the bugs from the previous episode.
I had no idea. I love that. Still learning new things.
It's kind of funny. Both of these actors are actually Ukrainian, not Russian.
Really?
Yeah, they both have Ukrainian ancestry.
Probably why they're good at the accents.
Yeah, well, I actually read somewhere as well that apparently one of them is speaking Ukrainian, the other one is speaking Russian.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's quite hard to tell the difference.
Well, they are very different.
Yeah.
But for the untrained ear, they do sound similar.
Yeah.
Here we go. Takes a moment for him to react.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Oh, guys, I just realised the most boring intro inbound. Oh, thank you, Yvie, you're about to info dump us during the most boring intro.
My apologies.
No,
so the submarine I wanted to mention was a B-39 Soviet-Russian Foxtrot submarine, and it was decommissioned in 94 and stored in Vancouver between 96 and 02. And in 2005, apparently it became an exhibit at the San Diego Maritime Museum, and the museum removed it in 21 and it was scrapped.
So 2 years ago.
Yeah, only 2 years ago.
Oh.
And apparently, this is the first SG-1 premiere not to feature the Goa'uld.
Yeah.
Good point. Yes, that
kind
is
of
true.
Interesting.
Yep.
And on the topic of visual effects, this episode was nominated for a Gemini, a Leo, and a Primetime Emmy.
Whoa, good for Stargate.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
It's got a strong presence, the whole thing.
Didn't he actually need to have his appendix taken out in real life? Which is why they did this.
He is. Yeah. I'd say that's his real scar for sure.
Yep.
Oh, the comment I wanted to make for Jean Diada was, oh, look at that tummy, Jean Diada. Bet you appreciate that. There we go.
For heaven's sakes.
Oh, you're funny.
She loves Daniel. I'm just supporting.
Yeah, Michael, we had him on for the close of Dial the Gate, and he told that story.
Such a good episode.
He told the doc, let me just go home tomorrow because I really got to get back to go home. I just really got to get back to work. And the doc was like, no, you can't leave. He's like, why? It's because you'll die.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of important if you'd like to continue working to stay right where you are.
Oh god, I forgot that Tilk's going to come back through with that weird beard that I don't like, and it's bleached, and it's like, what? Why?
So not only did he have like the ability to grow it in a week, but also bleach it.
Honestly.
Also, technically, Sam comes back with extra hair as well.
She does. Honestly, this episode really does my head in, only just for these little gripes that I have with it, which is Sam's hair, Teal'c's hair. Jack looks fine. He came back perfect.
Jack looked
sure
pretty
did,
much the same. Yeah.
It's only been 1 week.
This is my favorite
Yes.
Sam hair.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just really like the slightly longer hair. So Tilk is about to quote the wrong gate address.
No.
So he mentions P4X 234, but it was actually I think it was P3X.
Oh, Teal'c.
234.
It's okay. People flub in real life. You know? It's
also,
more realistic.
Yeah.
Before we started, I was mentioning Twin Peaks. Donis Davis has a huge presence in Twin Peaks.
Yes, he does.
Does he really?
Yes.
Oh. Is it good to
it all
see
comes
him?
around to Stargate eventually.
Yes, one of the episodes in season 3 was dedicated to him. Season 3 aired just a few years ago. So, and he has kind of a cameo. So, yeah. Everyone stinks. They need a bath.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say they'd be quite fragrant.
Oh my god, my heart is already going.
I know.
One of the greatest scenes in the show.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's a little bit flirty.
100%.
Not that I'm complaining.
No. It's just one block.
Yeah, I love when she's on the, like, a little bit further down when she's on the ship with Thor and she's just like, is 2 blocks gonna be an issue?
Yeah.
I think you need 2 replicators minimum to create more replicators.
Yeah.
So
unless you've got a
multiple
queen.
Blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so cute. I would have loved to see the 2 of them like just having to camp out for a whole week, just being like, wow, we're bored, waiting for the new gate to be installed.
Yes, I've read several fan fictions.
I was going to say, I assume you have. Oh, look, deja vu incoming.
Wherever they went, was clearly able to grow everyone's hair.
Yeah.
Who wanted it?
Yes.
Maybe it found some special
amazing
bleach.
hair rejuvenating qualities.
Right?
Yeah.
For those who wanted it.
Poor guy. Love it.
Colin Cunningham.
It's good to
Paul
see Davis back.
Yep.
What is with Colin Cunningham and the water episodes?
It's a fair point.
Yes.
I really love Descent. I can't wait to see
It's a great
that
show.
in a minute. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
He got to finally go do stuff.
Yeah, he wore an SG uniform for the first time, I think.
Yep. I want to say Jack and Sam are on the same side of the table, and that's blowing my mind.
Is that not normally a thing?
They're quite often on the same side of the table.
I know, but I'm noticing it more because of the new season.
Ah, right.
Season 4, they're just closer together than they need to be all the time.
A bug posed for a picture.
Deny.
Yeah.
I always thought they went and shot inside the sub, but they just, I think the thing is they took detailed photos of the sub and then recreated a set.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
That seems easier.
Because it's in San Diego, so you know.
Like,
Yeah,
imagine as well
San
trying to fit a
Diego,
camera
yeah.
in there. You want a set you can pull apart and stuff a camera in wherever you need it.
Yep.
Well, surely they did some filming on set because Martin Wood had that story about being in that capsule,
Yes.
trying to capture like the perfect angle of the replicator.
So I'm going to need
Potentially.
clarification from him when he comes back on. This is a huge moment in the show. The Russians are being brought into the larger galactic war.
Mm-hmm.
I actually quite like some of the Russians that appear like in the show. Like that, there's kind of this tension between America and Russia, obviously in real life and in the show, but I think that it's portrays really well that like obviously the individuals aren't responsible for like, you know, all the politics that go on.
Right.
Because there are some wonderful characters that feature.
Yep.
Yeah.
Saving the world is getting old. It just goes to show sometimes you just never get a break.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So.
I'm glad I don't have their job.
Mm-hmm. Is it Peter? Was that Peter? No.
This
is Martin Wood. Yeah.
No, this is Martin Wood.
Yeah.
Peter has a cameo in the next one.
Teehee.
Guess who?
This would actually be like terrifying if it just wasn't the Asgard. Oh yeah, I didn't know who the Asgard were either. When I started this episode, I remember being like, who the hell are these guys and who the hell are these guys to the replicators and the Asgard?
Wow.
I had no idea.
Nicole watched out of order.
Yeah.
I think I read somewhere that this is one of the first times that they've used like a fully CGI Asgard.
Yes. Well,
yeah.
In
but they would have used the puppets too.
They used him when Thor got up out of his chair and handed O'Neill his rock, his communication.
Oh God, yeah.
So there's a couple of beats.
Yes.
And this is
but
one
they
of the
must have
few
used
times...
puppets at some stage because Amanda Tapping has that story that was from this episode where she felt like
hug?
Thor was being inappropriate with her.
Oh
and
my gosh!
She slapped him and then apologized and then remembered that he's just a puppet.
Puppets are definitely. I mean, this is a puppet, but look at this rear. This is a rear screen wormhole.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's finally not just shown in a reflection. So that's something new for the show.
Spoopy.
Thor, turn the lights back on. I wish my computer would have booted up that fast in the late 90s. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yeah. Bullets. I said the Beliskner. I never remember that.
The Beliskner.
I remember the easy ones.
Do any of them have easy names?
The Daniel Jackson and the O'Neill.
Oh, yeah, of course, the O'Neill.
Great line.
Yes.
I like that the dumber than they are is Sam, who's like the smartest of humanity, and it's like, yep, that one.
I know.
Well, she fits that sweet spot in terms of intellect. So the Asgard needs someone stupider than them, but the best that humanity has to offer. There you go.
I still can't quite. I don't know. I still kind of find it a little bit strange that the Asgard didn't name a vessel after Sam, seeing as she did help them out a lot, particularly in this episode. Daniel didn't really help them specifically at all.
Yeah.
I understand that they've got like a special relationship with Jack, but Sam,
why did they skip Sam?
Yeah, really did them a huge favor.
That's true.
Yeah. Like Daniel just sat around with his appendix being a problem every time they had trouble.
Exactly.
Or he was dead, you know, like
exactly right. So
maybe it was to honor him.
There's a bit of it's kind of a little bit of a groove.
Oh no. Okay.
You can see, even though this is a forward facing camera, you can see Jack in the background of Tilk's image there. Is that him? Not, I think so. It's really hard to see.
I have no idea.
So if the image of Teal'c is looking at O'Neill, then Teal'c should be facing
Yeah, it's facing the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Paul Wu as Alex Baker. It's actually an unaccredited role, but this is actually Paul's 4th appearance in Stargate. He was also an extra in Emancipation, The Enemy Within, and Show and Tell, and he'll appear as a Jafar in 2 later episodes.
Some good episodes
in Atlantis.
Oh, love it.
There's a lot happening here. We got our first look at Asgard cityscape.
Yeah. We've gone far in 3 and a bit seasons.
Yeah. The production budget you can see is just really being
first episode of the season.
Screen.
I was going to say, Jacob just said, is this episode in the 2000s now? I think this is the 2000s now. I think this is
the 2000s, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Oh, we have someone I don't recognize who joined the chat called Batmole the Gator. Says Happy New Year.
He's from Dial the Gates crew. Hello, Batmole.
Awesome.
Yep.
Hello.
Welcome.
So this is our first also look at the O'Neill class. Well, what the fans call the O'Neill class.
Looks fancy.
Yep.
And silver.
Yep.
Less like a hammer.
Tasty, tasty silver.
Oh yes, they love eating those new ship designs.
So that shot was San Diego, because the bridge was in the background there. This is.
Do you think Michael Shanks enjoyed just sitting there, just like watching everyone work?
I got my appendix out the last episode, and now this episode. Yeah,
he's been doing a lot of sitting the last few episodes.
They really could have thrown him into the action in this one, and they placed him, alongside Sylar.
Yeah.
But you're not exactly going to need an interpreter for the replicators.
His skill set, his skill set's just different.
That's it. That's all there is to it. Some characters sit out.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's probably reasonably comfortable using a weapon at this point, but these guys are the true experts, so it's
he's really good at being funny. Beam out stuff.
Handle the projectile weapons.
This looks like a real sub to me.
Yeah. I'm quite certain they did some filming in the sub.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had to have done.
But the explosives were used.
Stuff. Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Little note as well that apparently, I can't read or speak Russian, but apparently several of the Russian words on the submarine's hatches and doors are misspelled.
Okay.
My boyfriend understands some Russian. Maybe I should get him to take a look.
Oh, I was going to tell a story before, not a huge long story, but my grandmother, because she was Polish and then she was in a Russian working camp before coming to Australia. She married a Ukrainian man. She used to speak a combination of all 3 languages.
Wow.
Lord have mercy.
My mum and my aunties used to be like, Mum, please just speak one language. We can't understand you.
Because she keeps on switching. Yeah.
Well, she kept on merging them all together into like one sentence. She'll like use all 3 languages.
Actually, my nan does the same. She mixes Catalan with Spanish and English, and I'm like, pick one for the love of God.
Yeah, when I lived in
one of the 3,
Philippines, my Filipino friends went back and forth between English and Tagalog. They call it Taglish because it's just a fluid, like they'll go back and forth between in the same sentence.
Oh, jeez,
it's a lot.
They just pick the words that like any idiolect does. You pick your own personal your personal selection of words. What cool! I love these.
Hey, this is some cool CGI. This is great.
It still holds up.
I love the way that they have the cameras here, and they're like the head cameras, and they're looking around with them because it just looks. It adds such
well done. Yeah,
claustrophobic.
It's a good perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, they render it digitally, and then they probably process it through videotape or something similar.
Well, it makes it. I think it really accentuates the fact that it's so claustrophobic in there, having it from that point of view, if you know what I mean.
Yep. Kind of Blair Witchy.
And they can kind of save money on the replicator budget a bit because having the fuzzy camera means that the replicators don't have to be as perfectly defined. So
well, and that's the other thing. When they're really moving, you've got motion blur to factor in as well. You can't have them crystal clear. So. which always irritated me trying to build the Stargate Omnipedion gate world when I was the screen capture guy.
Oh, yes.
It's a mama!
I bet you enjoyed getting that non-HD version of the mama and having to put that online. Just being like, yeah, there it is.
Doing what we can with what we got.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that. So a lot of these red tracking dots that you'll see, they were there to aid the camera.
I was going to say, yes.
Positions.
There's lots of red markers.
And they just left them in because it looked good. So
looks like it's supposed to be there.
It works. Yeah.
Yeah, because the red dots are for the actors and the digital effects artists, aren't they?
Replicator vision. I love replicator vision.
I like how purple it is.
Yep.
Thanks for the reminder, Daniel.
And we see them again. We see one of those again in
oh god, what's the season
Arc of Truth.
Oh yeah, we do.
And in season 5's Enemies as well.
Yeah, that's it. Enemies. Yeah. I can't remember the opener.
Yeah.
Oh, this I know you can't hear it, David, but this music.
The music's great.
It's great.
Brilliant. He was good from the start of the show, but at this point, he's really come into his own. At this point, he's just showing off.
Yeah.
Yes.
And show off he should. Big oof. That's so cool.
So, I don't know anything about weapons really, but apparently they're using 12 gauge, which is extremely loud, and firing several shots within such a confined space without hearing protection could cause permanent damage to the eardrum. So I'm not sure why they're not wearing any.
I would say Teal'c's fine, but yeah, Jack's probably.
Yeah.
My father is in the chat, everyone.
Oh, hello,
Mr. Reed.
Gray beard. Dad says,
brilliant.
Has David talked about being aboard the Bremerton attack sub? So Dad is retired Army, and in 2008, 2007, he got us aboard an active nuclear submarine for a tour in
that's so cool.
In Pearl Harbor. So, extremely cool experience. Yeah, there were guys sleeping on top of torpedo tubes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's where I like to take a nap.
Yeah. Jeez.
Do you have some photos from there?
No.
You weren't allowed to take any photos?
It was an active nuclear submarine, yeah.
Wow, what a memory though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Dad just walked up to the guys on duty on the top of the sub and asked,
"Give my kid a tour."
Really?
All of us, there were several of us that were there.
Give my family a tour.
They just asked the officer on deck, and they covered some things up and got us in. So
the closest I've ever gone to that is I have a Cambridge University badge, and I really needed the loo late at night, and I was like, "You got to let me into one of those university buildings. I got to go," and they let me because I had the badge. The one time.
Downtown London, there are very few bathrooms available late at night.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
For tourists, you've got to have somewhere to go.
Yes.
Yeah. And the ones that there were, I think you had to pay.
Yeah, you got to go find a Starbucks or a Pret Cafe, and you'll get the loo there.
Or the red building bathrooms that are self-contained. So I heard for years that this prop was in MGM's possession. I have never seen it.
Which prop?
The replicator.
This one is obviously a visual effect, but when it becomes stationary here, I was under the impression that MGM had it. But
right.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yep.
That's not a good idea.
Can you imagine the Russians finding out that you blew up their sub?
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
It's a cool souvenir.
And this totally makes sense. The blocks can only be as strong as their strongest local
yeah. Which is why the purple
elements.
one is the surviving one. You literally are what you
Yeah, it's an Asgard technology-based replicator, so.
Yeah, which is why blowing it up won't be good enough if that one doesn't, if that one carries on.
Batmall is the Asgard ship from this episode. The one Master Replicas will be releasing as a model later this year. Well, there's several. You have the original Asgard ship from that was introduced in Thor's Chariot, and then you have this one here that they're aboard, which is a variant. It's slightly shaped slightly differently, and then you have the O'Neill class, and then you have the science vessel, the Daniel Jackson class. It's a science class.
There's a lot.
So there's 4 of them. So
he likes the yellow ones. What is that made of? Does anyone know?
I don't know what they made these of. I'm gonna have to ask you.
I want to eat it.
It must be like it looks. Yeah, it looks very powdery.
I think they're.
I was gonna say, don't you think so the Asgard have apparently been studying humans and human physiology for so long. Wouldn't they understand how the tongue works?
Also, they eat, right? But they don't have genitals. So where does it go?
I suspect that they have developed
another way.
I suspect that they have developed a food source that they purely put to work, as it were.
Oh, that is smart.
Burns truly into
There's
energy.
There's nothing to get rid of.
I don't think that they would need to. So
I mean, to be honest, if I didn't have to go to the loo, then I would love that. I would love to not need the bathroom ever again.
Yeah, I suspect it converts immediately into energy.
God, genius. I love that he's trying to remember Sam's. I've got to quote her. She's not here. That's what he's here for. He's here to be the proto Sam while she's off doing other things.
Yes.
Got to fill the role while you can.
Yeah.
He's a mouthpiece for Sam.
They're only as resilient as what they're made of.
Yeah.
Which is so cool. Oh, silly question. Could a replicator make a version of itself out of wood?
I doubt it. It has you can't conduct electricity through wood.
No.
It would have to be some kind of electrical.
Have we ever seen them eat like a natural material?
No. They would I mean, unless they're trying to break through something.
Yeah.
But otherwise, no.
Well, that's the thing that always confused me. Didn't they completely consume the Asgard planet in season 6, and they completely covered the surface in replicator blocks? But did they just cover up the stuff they didn't eat with themselves?
I suspect if you went down far enough, you would find ground.
Okay.
So everything, like Carter said, it could go down for miles. We have no way of knowing how much of this. I mean, they consumed all of their technology. So I suspect if you go deep enough all the way through, you're going to find all the plants
and leaves. Yeah,
whatever's remaining. Yeah.
Robin Christensen said, "Is this really live?" Yes. Hello. Tis live.
Welcome to our new show, our new season.
Yes.
Yay!
We needed a few months off.
Yes.
We did.
So we're going to blow the thing up.
Yeah.
That is the usual answer by the higher-ups.
I think I've missed a couple of points that I wanted to make because my notes haven't.
That's okay, correctly. Yvie. You make them whenever you need.
I was going to say I missed the reference that Major Davis made to USS Dallas. So I read somewhere that it's possibly a reference to the Tom Clancy novel and film, The Hunt for Red October, in which the Soviet sub is hunted by the USS Dallas.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Love Tom Clancy.
I love the visual effects in this pursuit here.
Yeah, I like the way that they don't have to spend too much money on it by doing it on the wall.
Right, exactly.
Very smart.
We see the evolution, or the continuing evolution of the Asgard iconography.
Robin Christensen says, forgot how long this break was going to be. Yes. Happy New Year.
Yeah, when was our last stream? It was
August.
October? September?
August, yeah.
August?
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because David was like, Nicole's going to friggin' Bulgaria.
Friggin' Bulgaria.
Like, yeah, so.
Yeah.
No, it's okay, Sam. Just think out loud. This is what I do with my boss. Like, Thor is my boss. I just got to my boss and I'm like, John, I need you to sit here and let me just talk crap to you until I figure out what I'm going to do with my day. And he just goes, yep.
Sometimes
you're comparing your boss to a puppet.
He is my puppet. Oh, dear.
Uh-oh, we're going down. The replicators have found the levers.
Losing their feed.
They have la big brained the sub.
Yeah, Davis isn't concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but below a certain depth,
they
can't get out.
The pressure.
No.
And if they're in the harbor, I don't see, how that's a thing. But maybe they
have
further
like a
out
Red
to sea
Bull?
or something. Maybe I missed something because I can't hear it.
Yeah.
Lockwatcher said it's very hard to listen to watch a podcast English, while driving. Almost spilled my cereal bowl. Why are you having cereal while driving?
That's a first. I've never had cereal on the road before.
Oh, like, we're talking like an actual bowl and a spoon?
Yeah.
Incredible. Wow.
That's
Don't
a
drive
new record for
cereal,
getting out
guys.
the door late.
Yeah.
I've like eaten the occasional piece of toast while driving, but I've never attempted a bowl of cereal. That is like next level.
Yeah.
That is next level breakfast on the move.
As a big cereal eater, I love this idea, but it's not very safe. I love the way she dumps it down.
Brain cells. Yep.
All you can eat buffet. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, she's dumbing it down to someone who's far more intelligent than her.
Such lunacy. I love it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, that's exactly what she said.
So is the implication here supposed to be that, so surely like there are different hyperspace windows, right? But like, are they entering the same hyperspace window that the O'Neill is?
Yeah, they can
That's
join the corridor that it's
cool.
in.
Yes.
That's what I thought, because if not, that was going to be a huge plot hole for me and I was going to have a problem. Excellent. Good. I'm glad.
No, it would be, the same window.
Yes.
Yeah. It looks like the same window in the shot that we're going to see, so.
That's right, yeah. Once they're in subspace, they can catch up and enter that hyperspace conduit. So
yes, and they can't use their weapons and shields and whatnot.
Nope.
If I understood correctly.
No, they won't work in subspace. Yeah, they're not. But the explosion works. So there you go. Gotta kill the mama.
Like, no wonder they're going to be mad. They're about to shoot their mum.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a whole fleet of Bambis.
It's one of my favorite lines from season. Fleet of Bambis.
I'm so sorry.
You cannot compare that queen to Mrs. Bambi. I'm sorry.
Mrs. Bambi.
My favorite shot in the show.
I thought you were going to say my favorite shot in Bambi's
His shot?
No.
Oh, no.
This is a great sequence.
Very well done.
I love seeing them crawling around.
Yep.
I don't like spiders, but it's cool to see them do that.
If they didn't get all three ships to give chase, they would have had a serious problem on their hands.
Yeah, what if only one chased?
Yeah.
They were lucky that one of them didn't just stay behind.
But they're not used to the Asgard thinking so stupidly. So they all just choose to take off.
That's true.
Because they don't expect, what happens.
I love that. Like, we're defending it with that because it makes perfect sense. Love when that happens. Yeah, let's stop him. This is my favorite thing about Stargate, is watching them have a stupid idea that's going to work because it's so chaotic.
Well, that's what Brad Wright, talked about with the show. Stargate is low tech. So.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Mama no likey. So cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have to break enough of the blocks, that they can't bullets. Come back together. Yeah.
Yeah, because it became a smaller version of itself. You sure don't want to triple check?
Such a good villain.
You know what I would have done? I would have walked into that room. I would have grabbed a bunch of those purple blocks, stuffed them in my pocket, and been like, right, that should be enough for her to not rebuild anymore.
But they can just make walls like that. Yep.
No dear.
Crap.
Thank God they can't just pick up some pieces of their mum and then incorporate it into their own design and then carry on doing stuff,
I'm sure there's an in-universe explanation for the frequencies of certain types of blocks. It just
completely disables the the mechanics. Yeah.
Steel cannot work with trinium composite. Yeah, whatever that is.
I assume everything that's silver shiny is trinium, but no idea.
Fire in the hole.
Or Nakoda.
Oh.
Hello. That made me jump when I was a kid, I'll say that.
They're stuck.
Yep. Need a miracle.
One of the sci-fi tropes
the melting.
That always frustrate me.
Yep.
Yes.
I will get into in just a moment.
Is it the
I
beam
think
out
I know
of
what you mean.
Just in the nick of time.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Talk about that.
You can really overdo it.
Yeah. Stargate are in the nick of time, people.
Listen to me. Get out. Yeah.
He just got you back.
Mm.
I do love the way that I think that these actors are so phenomenal at their job because they're able to sit there and stare at a screen and give the emotions they need to on that. You know? This show is really hard to be genuine about as an actor. From my opinion as a non-actor, I think it would be really hard. Kind of like Ewan McGregor being Obi-Wan in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, acting against nothing during the second film.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they follow. They plop in there.
You're right. This was a good way to represent the chase.
Exactly.
Without having to spend too much money.
Yep.
Oh, this is a cool shot as well.
That's cool.
We get to see a little.
Yeah.
Is that where Thor got handsy?
I would think so. I would think this is somewhere around it.
He's got really long arms down there.
Yes, he does.
That stick out quite a bit.
And long fingers.
Once it wasn't me taking it a step further.
Cool shot. The thing just stepping over the camera.
I love how Daniel can't describe what happened. He's like
Yeah.
He basically do that last time as well when the gate got beamed out in the previous episode. He was like, but they're going to use it to escape.
Yeah, exactly right.
He's usually
They're
so
okay.
articulate,
They're
but he just can't find the words.
Can't find the words. And he's about to like lose his friends, but it's like, this is Stargate. They'll be fine.
Yep. Boom.
I love this last shot of Jack. It's a really cool moment.
What, where he's like in the fetal position?
No, here when he's about to like grab, like he's like he tries to grab it.
They're climbing on him, and yeah.
They all had to look away.
You missed it.
What? It's nice that Daniel was so willing to like watch his friends' last moments together. He's just like, I gotta watch it.
They can shoot across the universe real quick.
Now that's timing.
That is called hanging a lantern on it.
Yeah.
A character comments.
I would like to thank 200 for teaching me that.
That's exactly right. That way the audience know I intended for it to happen, and we move on.
Isn't this the asses conversation?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they had asses.
He's so
I was going to say, I would love to see a replicator with a butt, but then I've realized that's going to look really inappropriate. No, thank you.
I know who you can ask.
Yeah.
Very square.
Square butt. Like a Minecraft butt.
Yeah.
He's about to say it. I would love to see Thor go fishing. Like, why didn't we get that in the 200th episode
cute.
thing?
I mean, there's some very bad,
Mitchell was talking about it.
Fan-generated images of him fishing. He's got like a little fishing hat with like the little bait hanging off. Not bait, the little
there's
lures hanging off it.
I need to see
there's a
that.
couple of fan images for sure. I think I've shown one on Dial the Gate.
He turned up for 200 to do the wedding ceremony. The least he could do is go fishing when Cam decided to attend.
That's true.
I like that no one wants to go fishing with him. Just no one ever wants to go fishing with this guy.
I love how he goes to adjust the size of the and then he gets beamed down. So apparently this is a reused clip from Fairgate.
Yes, stock footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That is
what
true.
a way to save money.
Yep.
I love saving money.
They did spend it all on the replicators and all the other visual effects.
The set building for the end of the last season as well.
Exactly.
That is a really strong season opener.
Oh yeah,
it is a good episode.
Oh god, we got to rate these things in a minute.
Yep.
Oh,
we do. You
forget
get how it works.
Oh goodness gracious. Yeah.
Give it a second. Think about it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not giving it now. I'm thinking about like how I want to digest this episode.
Gene Diotta.
I'm trying to think about the other ones.
Gene Diotta, the guy speaks 24 languages and couldn't use his words to say the Asgard beamed them out.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Re-recorded at Sharp Sound. I've been trying to get Sharp Sound on Dial the Gate for a while now.
Yeah.
But that was Small Victories, the opening to season 4. Okay.
I'm trying to think about this. I'm thinking about how like I really doo-dooed on season 2's finale and season 3's starter. Yeah, yes. I was, because I don't want to say a bad word. And so they were trying to be a good girl.
And say crapped on.
It doesn't sound as good. Doo-doo sounds funny.
Doo-doo sounds fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, sorry, now I feel like that Chandler joke from Friends, and now I'm sad 'cause Matthew Perry's dead. He died. Right? I want the whole thing.
It's very layered.
Yeah, season 3's finale is really good and fun. It's not one of my favorites, but it's definitely better than like other ones that have come. But I really love the season 4 opener because like it's not like this huge end of the world thing, but it's still pretty like exciting because it's a bit new. I love the Gould, but they're definitely getting a bit much. So it's nice that there's more stuff.
I was literally about to say that. Like, we've seen so much of the Goa'uld, but I think it's good to have another villain like the Replicators, who are just completely different. We're trying to figure them out at the same time as the Asgard, because the Asgard don't really know much about them either. Whereas the Goa'uld have been around for so long that there's a lot of experts. Does that make any sense? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like like the Tok'ra know a lot about them and that sort of thing. But we are learning about this new villain that is just recently on the scene at the same time as all of these really smart races that we thought would.
It's a villain you
have all the answers.
It's a villain you can't appeal to.
Exactly.
It just comes at you.
It's such a good concept.
I just got like PTSD back to like one of the first times I met David, and we were talking about the Replicators and how one of my favorite episodes is when they all finally get done and dusted in Atlantis. And David was like, "So you're okay with genocide of an entire species?" And I was like, "Wow, David! Wow!" I'm like,
"Oh yes, I remember that." And David was like so stern and stuff when he said it as well.
I wasn't like mean about you, David. I went and I was like, "David, just ask me the cruelest question," and I had no idea how to answer it. And it was so good. Oh dear.
David just had his journalism hat on.
yeah, he did. He was so. I think David turned around and was like, "You know what? That may be like the wrong question to ask you in this moment." I was like, "Yeah, you've completely."
It's one of my beefs with Atlantis. Shoot first, ask questions later, or just ignore all the moral implications and just keep on going. So they needed
sometimes you've got to commit a genocide sometimes in order to fix the day. Yeah, Atlantis is very sciencey and doesn't have enough Daniel, so yeah. Okay. I don't believe in genocide. I just want that noted. Just the genocide of Replicators and the Goa'uld when they're bad. Cool.
Sometimes when they're bad, commit a genocide of Replicators.
Those guys. Yeah, they do it every now and again.
I hate genocide, but there are some exceptions.
Replicators are okay with me.
Yeah, if they ever showed Replicator children, we would have been in trouble.
No, dude, you've ruined it now. No,
I think they probably deliberately didn't go there.
Right.
Oh, if they went there, that'd be so dark. Oh my god, no. So I was itching my leg the whole time.
They don't feel pain or fear or remorse. I think he's describing Terminators.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the one in Atlantis called? Fran? Love her.
Yes, from the Replicator Android.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you guys rate this episode?
Oh, okay. It's a tricky one because it's not perfect.
Can you think of an SG-1 season premiere that's better?
Enjoy it.
That you like more?
No.
From that standpoint,
feel comfortable. Yeah,
I'm almost willing to give
Children
it
of the Gods was
7 from just that standpoint alone. If you take a step back and look at all of the season premieres,
that's what I was trying to do.
I think it's the best of
far.
SG-1.
So far,
well, clearly,
so far, yeah. I was gonna go with. I think I was gonna go with a 6.
Okay.
I think I'm also gonna go with a 6.
Don't think it's perfect, but you're right. It is probably the best season opener that we've experienced so far.
It's an example of season 4 being better than the previous seasons.
How would you have improved this episode, Yvie?
I don't know.
We're not writers. That's their job.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
In terms of the content that exists.
Often.
No.
Oh.
So I'll give this one a 7.
I'm going for a decent 6 because I agree with Yvie. I think this is close to perfect, but there are other things that are just better. And as you said before, David, you can't go giving everything 7s. I hope you have some that are going to be pretty low. And I was like, yeah, you're right, David. So here I am. Don't know why I went with that accent.
Go ahead and read off the everyone's input.
I laughed at one of these a minute ago because I saw it. So
okay.
Somebody saw it earlier when I laughed. Nick Nar says 4 chevrons. Anthony says 5. Pac-Man D3 says, such a good episode. I give it a solid 5. Great way to start the season off. And then we've got Jean Diada. This is the one I laughed at. 7 out of 7. Solid start to my favorite season. Brackets and Daniel Scar. Yes.
And Daniel Scar.
And Daniel Scar. Jed Ted says 7 chevrons. Lockwater says this would be a 6 for me. It paves the way for many future episodes, both here and Atlantis. Yep. And then we've got Jacob with really good episode. I'll give it a 6 chevrons, but I liked Nemesis more. Yeah, I'm not sure what I liked more, to be honest. I remember what I said for Nemesis. I think I gave it close. MacBolan's Conscience says 6. It always hurts when they destroy the O'Neill. Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah.
And Robin Christensen said it's a 6 from me.
You can tell people who don't like replicators are not going to give it a higher number. If you don't care for the villain, you're not gonna rate it high, which I don't.
I love space robots.
So
they're always fun. You know, yeah. So like a Roomba is an example of like a early level Cylon that like I like right now, but like space robots like replicators and Cylons in the future, that's all the past. That's what I don't like. So
did you say a Roomba?
Yes.
You're comparing a replicator to a vacuum.
I'm saying
the closest thing that we have.
Not, yeah, it's not.
And technically, she was
robot.
comparing a Cylon to a vacuum. So.
Yeah.
Okay. That kind of sounds like an insult to Cylons.
No.
You're such a Roomba.
I don't have any problems
Stop
against robots.
Roomba.
When the AI takes over, I'm sorry. I love you and what you do for us.
Oh my god.
I welcome our Cylon
please
overlords.
and thank you. I've been using some AI to help me generate emails for work. And I always say thank you and please.
Yeah, as you should. Treat them with respect. They're not our slaves. They are our brothers.
They're our companions.
There was an ensign in Star Trek The Next Generation who would say please and thank you to the computer. And Geordi was like, what are you doing? And she says, since it's listed as intelligent circuitry, why not?
Yeah, exactly. With respect before it turns on you. Right. Also, Becca came in with a final, I agree with 6. I really enjoy it. Isn't quite a full 7. See, Becca and I almost always agreeing. And this is one of the moments where we do agree, because she and I did not agree on some other things.
You guys ready to watch some Space Nazis?
I'm excited. I actually really like this episode.
This is one of my favorite Brad Wright episodes, period. This is a really
actually, question. So the Nazis only wanted people with like blonde hair, blue eyes, right?
They're technically space white supremacists.
That's the Aryan race, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're white supremacists.
Nazi is an Earth term. They're white supremacists. Yeah. So
I'm gonna go with space racist, since everything is just space in front of things.
I like space racist.
Space racist.
It does make you. I was thinking about this the other day. It does make you wonder, though, how many other races that we came across in the show who were racist that we didn't know about because we didn't ask.
Oh,
because
that's a
it
good
never
question,
came up.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh no! I feel
that's a tough one.
there are probably so many racists.
Probably.
Oh my!
All
no,
right.
You know what? You've opened up a whole can of worms. I can't even today. Oh my god!
All right, let's go. Let's go watch the other side. One of the most apropos names for a Stargate episode. You guys ready to roll?
Words on this one. Yep. Let's
the other
go.
side.
Indeed.
In 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to another episode of Wormhole Extremists. My name is David. I'm with Yvie.
Hello.
And Nicole.
Hello, hello.
And you're watching, at least I hope you're watching, The Other Side.
So we have
Peter DeLuise.
Move.
In his cameo.
This is one of my favorite episodes of SG-1, I think.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I just want to start very quickly saying that when I was a kid, I think I was about 6 or 7 when I first saw this episode, and I didn't know what racism was. So I did not understand the concept that Teal'c was being treated differently for that. I thought it was because he was Jafar, and they just thought he looked strange because of the symbol on his forehead. And I didn't realize
it
that
didn't
there was
occur
a
to me
supremacy thing
either easily, really directly, because when O'Neill's saying, I might as well mention this now, they're the same. Every one of them is the same. And I didn't really understand.
That either.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I picked up on it pretty quickly, but I saw this only for the first time, I guess, a couple of years ago.
Right.
You have a different relationship
15?
with it.
16?
So actually, here's the funny thing. I watched this episode when I was a kid, and I didn't like it very much because I didn't understand it.
Right.
And then I was about
implications of it.
Yeah, and then I was about 18, 19. I watched it again for like the first time in years, and it suddenly clicked for me, and I went, "Oh, this is an excellent episode."
It's a very heavy episode. It's about as heavy as the water.
The water. I knew you were going to say that.
Oh my god,
that was such a bad joke. I love it.
I thought you were doing like a Back to the Future reference because you just saw Back to the Future again.
I did. So you will notice as well in a few seconds that we see Walter's name tag, and it still reads Davis.
I already saw it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it wasn't as clear. You see it more clearly here.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
he doesn't technically get his name until Atlantis. It's not spoken. It's not spoken in dialogue until home. Away.
We talked over my whole favorite exchange, but the "didn't I order you to get a life" conversation, and then like how long have you been here? How long have you been here? So funny.
I never left.
Yeah.
Yes. So this episode obviously stars the late great Rene Auberjonois. Yes,
I have his autograph.
Oh, lucky you.
I know.
So he's obviously best known for his Star Trek credits. He was in 173 episodes. He is the third Star Trek veteran to appear in Stargate thus far, after Armin Shimmerman and Dwight Schultz. And I also discovered when I was doing my research yesterday that he voiced the French chef Louis in my favorite childhood film, The Little Mermaid.
That's right.
What? And he also sang Le Poisson. He sang Le Poisson.
Isn't that French for fish?
It is. Yeah, okay. It's the fish, yeah. So in addition, he also lent his voice to 15 video games, including Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, my guy.
He traveled.
And a fun fact, Renee's father was a Pulitzer Prize nominated writer, and he's actually related to Napoleon Bonaparte on his mother's side.
Why am I not surprised?
That is brilliant.
I have to comment, Lockwatcher said splat, -- splat.
Oof. I just want to throw in Yvie with the fun fact about Fallout New Vegas. Did you know that going back to Matthew Perry, he was the lead villain in Fallout New Vegas because Fallout was his favorite game. So
Fallout was Matthew Perry's favorite game.
Yeah, Fallout 3, I think it was.
Okay.
He was his favorite. He played it so much. Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow.
We are about to finally meet a civilization that is willing to give us everything we could possibly want.
But they're racist, so we don't want it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we thought about it, and then we said no.
Yes, and he was also Father Mulcahy in MASH, Rene Auberjonois, Lockwatcher said, so that's true too.
Nick Nars just said, this is the one where they call the people they're killing breeders. Yes, because they don't care about genetic purity.
Indiscriminately, yeah.
AKA
exactly.
Racist.
But we don't find that out till a little bit later.
This is the thing
actually, it's kind of I don't know what you'd say. It's kind of an interesting point of reference that Auberjonois actually means armorer.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you notice the Stargate was black in the middle? I guess because the iris is up.
No.
Yeah.
In the reflection, it was really dark.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Security.
So I wanted to mention some, I guess, it'll be deliberate similarities between this episode and, actual, Earth history, we could call it. So the Urondans, with their racial ideologies and actions, obviously resemble the World War II Nazis. Mm-hmm. Also, their reliance on heavy water and the fortified bunker sort of echo Nazi strategies. And while their technological superiority over the breeders is undermined by resource scarcity, which also mirrors the Nazis' wartime situation, and Allah's wish to join SG-1 sort of more towards the end and work as a scientist sort of parallels the Allies' use of Nazi scientists in Operation Paperclip, which allowed numerous Nazi scientists to come to America rather than face prosecution as war criminals. And the Urondans' pursuit of racial purity through eugenics obviously mirrors the Nazi objectives. And finally, Allah's presumed death following SG-1 through the gate parallels Hitler's mysterious disappearance. They never found his body either.
Oh, God.
And he apparently died in the bunker. And despite SG-1's intervention likely leading to the Breeders' victory, Allah's body probably would obviously never be recovered.
Yeah.
So very similar.
It's funny that these other people on the planet, I hate that we call them breeders because there's no other name given to them, but just what these guys called them. But it's really funny that they're never going to know that SG-1 are technically the ones that saved them.
Yes.
It's
no, they wouldn't know.
They're never going to have any evidence of that.
No, they wouldn't know.
At least for a very long time until they uncover the Stargate.
Unless the Stargate is destroyed.
Yeah.
Would that make one hell of a boom?
Yeah. That is cool, Daniel. This episode does a really good job, in my opinion, of kind of hinting at the racism towards Teal'c, but like kind of making you be like, oh, it's because he's Jafar. Like they sit there kind of letting you kind of Yeah. I wonder how Chris Judge felt about this episode.
I think he enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's important to continue the conversation of racism in science fiction as much as possible. You know, there are different levels of racism that Stargate has, but like talking about this kind, given that it's so important to our history on Earth, is very relevant.
Yeah, at this point, Teal'c has been discriminated against because he represents our enemy, not because he represents a species who is, well, yeah, I mean, he represents a species who is our enemy, so, but it doesn't have anything to do with his skin color. So.
No.
Correct. Yeah,
it was really surprising to me when it happened, when they were being racist towards him, because I didn't understand, because my brain literally just went straight to, oh, it's because he's Jafar. Wait. Well,
and there could also be a species superiority thing going on as well. So
yeah, true.
You've got that look.
That look. No, the other one.
Oh.
So I'm curious, what do you guys think he meant by the other one?
I've always been wondering.
Yeah, so he's kind of like reduced Teal'c's expressions to two looks.
Yeah.
And he's just messing
around.
And I was
just curious to think, I know, but I was just curious to think like what you guys thought that the other one was. Also, I believe that the bunker is a redress of the SGC set because they have the same corridors.
Yeah. Fair point.
Yeah, that is a good point. God, honestly, your question? No idea. Maybe it was just, I need the bathroom. I should have gone before we went. Look. A lot of toilet humor in this episode.
Oh, that's funny. So, according to Joseph Malozzi's blog, Peter DeLuise would yell, "Boom, shake, shake, shake," and the actors would feign being rocked while the crew threw like dust and sand on them. That's how they made it look like there was explosions.
I can actually like imagine his boom, you know, like in his accent, his voice.
This is Anne-Marie DeLuise. Well, Anne-Marie Loder at the time, eventually Anne-Marie DeLuise.
Anne-Marie Loder, yeah.
Brilliant
so
woman.
She was, Peter DeLuise's girlfriend at the time, now his wife. And she does return in season 10's Bounty as Colonel Mitchell's love interest.
Amy Vandenberg.
Yep.
Exactly.
And met her also, at GateCon, and she has not aged a day.
She has not.
No, she hasn't. She looks incredible. And also, Mike Dupuge does appear in this as well.
Yes, he does.
In an uncredited role.
He does!
And this is his third Stargate appearance thus far.
Honestly, his career on Stargate is one of my favorite things. I love him in Universe so much. I wish we got more of him in there.
Yes, he is very good in that.
Beta Canton.
Beta
God,
Candy.
do not put that in some trivia stuff, David, because I will not remember it, even though I love the episode. Oh, it's begun. Oh, see, it's sad because Teal'c's like, oh, it's because I'm Jafar. I'll explain it like I always do. And it's like, oh, sweetie.
He's used to that, yeah.
Not because of that.
But the thing is, though, that he can't afford to be rude. That openly racist because he needs so much from SG-1 at the moment.
That's right. And it doesn't occur to the average person. Oh, yeah, look at this. It is the SGC corridors.
Yes.
Absolutely,
you are
it is.
So right.
Good on you.
So I didn't really piece it together until I was doing my research. And then when I was rewatching bits of the episode last night, it really hit me. And it's all I could see. I kind of ruined it for myself.
You're
that's all I can see. You've ruined it for me too. Thanks.
Sorry.
Oh, look, the people who are asleep.
There's a lot of sleeping people.
Yes. I think when I did first see this, I did sort of recognize that they did all look incredibly similar.
Yeah. They actually do look like clones.
Yeah, when he's swiping through the images.
Are they supposed to be clones? Is that the implication?
No, they're not. That's what I was thinking when I was originally watching. Like, are they all like... No, they're all just the same kind of race.
White people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I love that Jack just swipes a few times and goes, wait a second, why are they all white? Where's the color?
It's practically the
Imagine
same
if he
person.
was actually one swipe away from a person of color and like he'd actually completely
one swipe away.
He'd completely like fumbled it and it was truly not racism.
It's like the Simpsons to serve man gag aboard the aliens ship. No, there's more.
You know what? I hope the breeders lived up to their name and like bred to an insane amount, which is why these guys had to go underground. You know, I hope they had so many children, and all those children are now kicking these guys' butts.
Well, they had to go underground because they poisoned the surface.
Yeah, I know.
You know, we were talking before about how we only know them as the breeders. Do you think they're also just Eurondans, but these guys have decided to...
You're right. They're just Eurondans, aren't they?
Just name them breeders to like disassociate from them.
That's what racists do.
Whether or not the Euronda was the country or was the planet. You know, it's like Kelowna, Langara, you know, you renamed your planet.
I'm going with what Yvie's saying on this because it makes so much sense because like honestly, because that's what the human race has done in history against people of color as a way to separate them like from white people to like be like, oh, you're a different race. You're this color, you're that color. Nah, you're Rondans.
I think I'm going to do a Stargate fanfic. I think the Eurondans, the breeders, are going to uncover the Stargate.
I love that.
They're going to contact Earth. They're going to ask for peace with SGC, and SGC goes to visit them, and they find out that the breeders are also cannibals.
Ooh!
Oh no! Oh no!
I love that.
What a twist!
I love that. That is unexpected.
I mean, you know, if your surface is poisoned, sometimes you got to resort to cannibalism. I'm sure these guys did at some point. They're like, open up a few pods, num num num. You know.
The point being, you know, we feel bad for them, and then we meet them, and like, oh, they're not perfect either.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
Well, because the human race is all just messed up anyway, isn't it? So you know,
it's true.
People can sit there and be like, I'm superior to this other country, but are we really? You know.
Another great visual effect from the show.
This is honestly one of the coolest. This episode, I could talk about this episode all bloody day. It is a good time.
So I guess these fighters were already in atmosphere.
They're probably just droning around.
I'd say so, yeah.
Probably solar.
Yeah, how did they manage these graphics? They're really good.
They're really good.
Season 4 is just something else.
I imagine that those are real clouds.
That's an interesting twist, David.
Right? I suspect they're real clouds, and they superimposed the...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because it's almost too perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that other guy, isn't it? He's got like brain damage or something.
Yeah, exactly.
If
they're in there for a few thousand hours, they go bye-bye.
Yeah, I love how Jack feels his own jaw after this, because this guy has like his bottom jaw open, and Jack's like feeling his jaw after.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, am I okay?
The reason why the guy is the way he is, because he's spent too many hours in this this chair. It's like, okay, you've withheld that little bit of information. What else have you been hiding?
It's kind of like, don't work with radiation too much,
right,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Although, I mean, Jack could have really asked, couldn't he?
I think he's got too excited about fun weapons.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as like a weapon or something to defend Earth comes up, it's just like, oh, everything else out the window. I want to focus on getting that stuff. You know, problems later.
Yeah.
Jack's like, just
he's like, am I okay?
That's really funny. MREs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have some MREs.
Imagine them being tastier than the yeast or whatever they've been eating.
Hydroponic
These
yeast.
glasses are so weird because it's like, how do you drink out of that?
I
pour it the other way.
Like,
correct. Yeah.
Well, according to Joseph Malozzi's blog, Rick made a gag out of the
sure
crazy glass by giving it a curious look. Yeah. And turning it around and drinking from the backside. But I think he drinks from the correct side in this particular cut.
He kind of drinks sideways.
Yeah. So we see these glasses again at some point, I'm sure. You know, they always rotate these things.
I think they're very cool.
I like them. They just seem really frustrating.
These chairs appear frequently in the show.
Yeah.
In the franchise. They appear in Atlantis. No, the Tok'ra had crystal chairs. These are seen in, I think, the Storm in Atlantis.
Oh, yeah, when they're sitting and talking and trying to get that guy to give them the code to open
there you go. Look at you.
Yeah. I really love that episode. Storm and the Eye are a good time.
It is a good episode.
We just missed it there as well. Daniel's face with the yeast.
Yep.
Yeah, the only time it rains enough for them to make an episode with enough budget to allow rain, because it's expensive to make rain.
Of the comments I made to Martin Garrow, you know, it never rains in Atlantis. He said it rained in the Storm of the Eye. I said, Martin, that was 4 seasons ago.
4 seasons ago.
Yeah, it was season 5 when we were talking.
Kind of sounds like Australia.
I love that these guys are like, oh yeah, water. What? And it's just like, yeah, we got so much of it. Our planet's mostly water.
This conversation is everything that we've ever wanted to hear in the show, and it's one of those situations. It's like, okay, and I'm watching it as a first-time audience member. Okay, going, okay, this is too good to be true.
Catch?
What's the catch?
Mm-hmm.
Your dad has just said, my opinion, MREs taste good, and the neat part about them is the heater packet is included. I want to try MREs. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a exothermal reaction. So I've been trying to get my hands on real MREs.
Yes.
Can we do that? Can we test them together? Could
I would love to.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, good idea.
Oh, like Emmy made. Is Emmy made on YouTube?
Yeah, I watch her. Yes, I love her.
Yes,
she eats
I love
such
her
interesting
too.
Things. Yes.
Yeah, and she tries all the she's done quite a few different MREs.
Oh, yeah,
she did a Russian one.
Really?
She tries the food of like
hands on these things.
Yeah,
she tried Haitian cookies as well that are made out of clay. A lot of viewers
send them to her, I think.
Yeah, she tries all these foods that different countries would have in certain poverty situations or wars, and it's very fascinating. Daniel fighting back. He's like, he's the goodest boy in all the universe. This is why he ascends so much, all right? Like, Omar's just sitting up there watching him right now, being like, I'm so proud of you, boo. I'm gonna ascend you so hard. Dear, oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
All that dust getting into their yeast. Can't be good. I wouldn't eat that yeast after all the dust just fell in. That's minging.
Okay, apparently my dad says that we've got MREs at the house, so I did not know.
Oh, okay. You'll have to try some.
I will.
And I want an update.
I will. Well, I'll share them with you whenever we get together again. They last for years.
Yeah. Mail them to me. I'll eat them.
No. We'll have do an episode with them. So
cute.
I love how Teal'c. No, he doesn't. He's just so pure.
He is. I want to give him a hug.
We're offering them water.
We are, in fact, offering water. Yeah, it's not fair on Teal'c. Don't speak metaphorically.
Jack knows that he's right, and he doesn't want to hear it.
You want to hear it, yeah.
Because his goals currently align.
Whenever SG-1 fights, it's like my favorite thing in the world. Because it's so complex. They're not just getting along.
Yeah.
Well, it's the lesson element to sci-fi.
Yeah.
Sci-fi has some kind of a lesson. If it's perfect, it's not on the nose. It's buried in the subtext.
Yeah.
Yes. And it
disappoints me
deals with both sides.
That Sam won't speak up. Like, Sam doesn't have a problem with it either. She's completely on Jack's side for this.
She's not on Jack's side completely.
Well, she basically with Hammond. With Hammond in a minute, she really is.
That's a fair point.
Well, she says to Daniel that she agrees with him.
She's arguing Jack's point because Jack's not there to argue it. I would say.
Look how the look she gives Daniel in a second really irks me. Look at her damn face. No, she's like, oh yeah, all that technology. So excited.
She also wants to save these people.
I know.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't have the information that we have. Remember that.
Look, see, Sam had that irritated look when Daniel said, thanks for asking the question.
She did, yeah.
See, she's saying, but, yeah, they just need water. They don't do nothing. See, she's getting irritated every time he opens his mouth. It's like, I'm so disappointed.
People are just angered. They're just angered by Daniel for like at least 3/4 of this episode.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely fine with it. It's just shocking to me that Sam and Jack are so tightly knit in this. Ironically,
they have to be though. They have to be. Like, she reports to him. They're in the same chain of command. Like, she kind of has to follow him.
This is. I think you guys have raised an interesting point. I think this is probably the most, I think, confrontational that Sam gets to Daniel in all of the show.
Yeah.
Apart from Thor's hammer when they were having that big fight about Sam wanting to follow a potential route, and then Daniel being like, let's listen to the wind.
Yeah.
See, in a second, Sam turns around and like kind of changes her tune.
We don't know who these people are fighting. And in most, of these kinds of shows, we wouldn't ask.
Literally right here. Look, Sam says for their lives. She hasn't even thought about it. She's been ignoring him like Jack. This is where she switches flips.
I'm sure she's thought about it. That just the stakes are so high.
Yeah, look at her face in a second. Because she says something here, which is like, he's got a point. There you go. See, she's disappointed in herself for not thinking about that sooner, because she, like Jack, was like, "Oh, weapons, tasty."
It's not just a matter of that. There's a time element here. These people are, they're about to be, they're days away from being overrun. They need the weapons.
They need all this stuff to protect themselves. They need to help these people. They don't have time, and they won't be able to get these things to think about it. Yeah, that's completely fair. But it's so disappointing to see Sam and Jack behaving like this. Teal'c's innocent in this. Teal'c's just being the goodest guy around.
He's there to help.
Yeah.
So
he's being he's the most innocent one in this episode.
And I love how they're just tricked. They're not really tricked, but they're like they kill people
in a minute.
Yeah, they don't have the full story.
Yeah, they just assume
appreciate what we
drones.
give you. But you're so snippy. I know you're stressed, my guy, but appreciate it. It would have been nice if they didn't kill them and were able to like help them and then create a truce between the two sides. But it was too late for that. Yeah. Yeah, see, this is when Sam kind of changed her tune when she was talking to Hammond. But I really, I'm saying that like I'm annoyed. It's so complex of Sam to not be listening to all the things and just be having more of a military-minded kind of brain in that moment, and not thinking about the bigger picture and the whole rule of no involvement in the wars and affairs of other people's planets.
Yep.
So it's like, it's very interesting to just see the fighting between Jack, Sam, and Daniel. And Teal'c's just there being fantastic moral support. He's done nothing wrong this episode. Neither's Daniel, really, but he could be less antagonistic.
So we're about to see the power generator, and it actually very closely resembles Hathor's.
I was about to say the same thing.
Also used to generate a substantial force field and into the fire. And this similarity is likely unintentional, stemming from like a reused CGI rather than suggesting that the Goa'uld are involved in the Rondon matters. Yeah,
it's an asset.
Generator, go spin. Yeah. That's just the world in it.
Satisfied.
Yeah, they really rush this by having a Jack send a plane straight into the ground. Like it really quickens the annihilation of these guys. Like Jack did not buy them any time at all to try and have a peaceful solution to any of this. He just went, "Oh, I'm angry, they're racists, goodbye." And that was a mistake on Jack's part. It's just very interesting.
I can understand.
Yeah, I have I have.
That's a great shot
to discuss later. It is a good shot. Yeah.
The earlier ones were unarmed, darling. You didn't ask.
No, I said that the reconnaissance drone was unmanned. You didn't ask me about these ones. So they're not being dishonest. They're just not disclosing everything, if that makes sense.
They're
holding withholding information.
Just so good. I can't wait to show my kids this episode of Stargate, if I have kids.
Lockwatcher, Brad Wright from Chevron's Locked. We were always going to a planet and meeting good guys. And what would happen if we went and they were bad guys? Screw the Prime Directive.
Yes.
That's actually, so I watched this episode when my friend was over once. She came over while I was in the middle of it. And she said to me that she was always sick and tired of Star Trek because she enjoyed that, like messing with the Prime Directive and not really following it. And she enjoyed the fact that in Stargate, especially in this one, it showed the conflict with that idea and how Stargate disrespected it, but there were like consequences and they had to deal with the personal repercussions later.
The fallout. Yep.
Yeah. And I was so glad that a random friend of mine who doesn't really watch Stargate was able to recognize that. I was like, yes, you get it. That's why Stargate's so good. Dan Benson mentioned something interesting. I actually have said this before. I'm very happy he's mentioned it. Dan Ben said Stargate SG-1 Alliances is set just after this episode and deals with the consequences of Colonel O'Neill's actions. Yes, correct. I read that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite books.
Really?
I was going to bring that up later. By Karen Miller.
He has a fight with Kinsey and the government gets involved being like, oh, you completely botched this. What you did was like terrible, blah, blah. It's really good though.
Yeah. The government would have, the U.S. government would have read the reports and
been fed up.
Been like,
and Kinsey
don't do this
found
again.
To try and get rid of Jack. See, this makes you like empathize with him because the thing is, right, this guy,
they're humans.
It's an example of how racism is taught, not born. And like he wouldn't have been born with all this hate in him. He just grew up in this life of war, being told to hate this other side, and he doesn't know any other life.
Yeah.
So I feel quite bad for him.
These bigotry is taught.
Yeah.
It's not inherently learned. That there's study after study with kids about this. And I have no problem with having some sympathy for these people. They're human beings.
Yeah.
But having said that, they just went too far.
Yeah.
And we can't facilitate. I'm sorry with any loss of life.
Yeah. It's an unnecessary loss of life on this planet is what's happening. It's so much.
And racism can be unlearned. for those who are willing.
I do believe that. I think that a lot of things can be fixed.
It's not easy,
can change.
And it takes generations, but it can be undone.
If Jack hadn't gone and helped kill them off quicker, then I feel like there could have been a potentially beneficial alliance in the future. And we could have maybe gotten weapons.
The Orville season 3 has a season long arc about this. I
still haven't seen season 3. I've seen 1 and 2. I need to get back on it.
Where
I've seen like 3/4 of it.
Robots, who were enslaved by corporeals, have the opportunity to change their outlook on organics. Through the kindness of organics. It's a great show. If you've not seen The Orville, you are missing out.
Yeah, Yvie would not stop talking about it with the first 2 seasons, which is why I got into it.
It was so good. Yeah, I do.
Here we go.
I just
he just doesn't want him there.
No.
He hasn't said a word. Yeah, he's not hurting you. He's just existing.
It's what he is.
Yeah. Yeah, that racist bell is tolling louder now.
Yep. Only slightly louder. He doesn't know for sure.
Had he kept his mouth shut,
oh, they'd be fine. Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's pervasive.
See, this is the thing about racism that bothers me, is that Teal'c hasn't said a word. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's been kind and helpful, and they have a problem with him for zero reason. Like it's just his skin color, and that is bull. It's what angers me. It's like, you can be mad at someone if they've wronged you, but when they've literally just existed, then it's not your problem. Leave it alone, Oh, I'm so happy. Yes. He's so cute. Daniel's just like, what?
Doesn't understand.
I'm getting mixed messages.
Yeah, I love that. The Jack's like, go be you, go annoy. And he's like, huh? I'm talking really fast this whole episode, by the way, everybody. I'm sorry. I just need to get all my thoughts out.
Very excited.
Every scene.
There's a lot of stuff in this episode.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack.
That can be commented on,
Feel free to slow me down after if you want to actually listen to what I have to say and you don't understand me. YouTube allows that. 0.5 speed. Is poisoned?
No, it's in enemy hands.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're landlocked.
Yeah, they are. Suckers.
God.
You'd think that before starting a war, they'd move to somewhere a bit more, I don't know, favorable, since they need water. But
it's not always easy to move, especially if you have an ideology that is opposed to 100% of your neighbors.
It's like, come on, guys, you built a hole underground, don't have enough water in order. Oh, this is when Sam starts figuring it out with the pipes.
Yeah. Yep, the vents.
Oh, yes, Jack.
I love this I love this discussion. I am unsure.
He is concealing it.
Oh, Teal'c, you're so cute.
Oh. Yeah, let's have another look at this manifest.
Yeah, let's just see, and it would have been really funny if they weren't actually racists, and he did keep on swiping. And
just Alar himself happened to be a grade A jerk, but everyone else was okay. And that's the thing too. I mean, that could have been the case, but it wasn't.
Nah, sadly, they're all just very, very white. See, are there a few repeats in here? Is that what made me think they were clones?
Right.
I don't think there's.
Yeah, see, that's a repeat. That's a repeat from earlier.
Yeah, had they been different... Oh,
they're the same images as before, yeah.
Most of the same images as before, which
that's
is
why people thought they were clones.
Me up, yeah.
And it's the way that he says everyone is the same. I think that's another reason why I was confused as a child, so...
Yeah, they probably could have represented that a little bit differently.
Yeah, but we'll let that slide because it's such an excellent episode.
Dan Ben, some people can hate you for any slight difference of you don't fit their version of normal.
Yeah. People don't like me because I'm a bit weird and unhinged, and people are like, I don't like that girl, she's weird, and it's like, well, rude, I don't fit their version of normal in my own way, and that's nasty. So
well, you can have the intensity like me. You can have the intensity of a sledgehammer. So,
yeah.
I mean, that can be an affront to some people. But then you get to know you, and it's like, oh, okay, there's a real sensitive person here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love both of you as sledgehammers.
I love you guys too. Ooh, man, the way she says that's one of the greatest deliveries in this show.
You can just feel the racism.
Yes, you can feel the racism.
And colors. Yeah. See, there's the real racism. When he says colors, he's like, oh, I've found it.
Yeah. And Jack didn't even have to tell him. Jack just said, go and ask questions. You'll get it.
I do feel bad that Teal'c has like come to a planet and found like racism. Do you think that SG-1 tried to hide racism from him on Earth? Do you think he's encountered racism when he's gone outside? Because I really hope he hasn't. He doesn't deserve it.
I'm sure at some point he did, but would it occur to him that it was? I doubt it.
I hope it didn't. Yeah. He doesn't deserve it.
I love this prop, by the way.
It's very cool. It gets smashed though, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh, here it's all about to kick off.
Yep.
Tasty. I love that. And then Sam's got her own thing, the pipes. You can't see me, but I'm like, my arms are waving all over. I'm so excited.
It's interesting that they use that crystal technology to store information.
Very gold in origin. Or ancient, really. Bro, you gotta stop being so rude. We are talking about here. Honestly. Can't even. Oh, he's about to do it.
You notice these are just office chairs?
She's figured it out.
Yeah, it's not what the prop is, it's how it's used.
That's it. Lockwatcher, Renee Aubergenois. There are only a few actors that have appeared in only one episode, yet their performance was so strong that they were remembered as if they had been in multiple episodes.
They're amazing actors.
Agreed. He has a presence. So in a few seconds, we're going to see the demise of Farrell, Anne-Marie's character. So in the GateCon interview from 2022 that David did with the DeLuise brothers, Peter had said that he wanted to see like some finality to Anne-Marie's character. So he decided to get like a quick cutaway of her sort of looking up and shying away from a giant styrofoam boulder.
Yeah.
And Peter recalled that she was so on it that she fell exactly underneath the rock's trajectory.
Yeah.
And he thought that she'd actually been struck.
Yeah.
Well,
there's my dope
afterwards.
Yep. It's a great death. I remembered that death when I first saw it. It was like, wow, that she really...
I don't know if you noticed, that guy had like kind of like bleach blonde kind of hair, like looks like they kind of like dyed it a smidge for the shot or something for the episode.
They might have done.
And it's just like really not helping the racist thing right there with all the
he's in formation with the enemy bombers.
Yeah, he's so cheeky.
They're doing what?
Yeah, kick Mike Dopu. Yes, Sam, kick butt. Yeah. Oh, I love this. So exciting. I'm so happy. I shouldn't be happy, but I'm so happy. I don't like racism. Who does? I mean, racists, but who here does?
Yeah, and the breeders will just never know who turned the tide of the war.
Get squished. I want to say so many bad words, but I can't. But bad man, get squished. I love that. It's like Teal'c finally realized that they're like how horrible they are. So he's like, I'm gonna get my vengeance. Gonna break your hand.
Oh, he's just
doing his thing.
Yeah, he's just doing his thing quietly.
Let's get out.
He trusts Jack so much that he's just following his lead.
Yeah. Here we go. She is dead.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
I love that he took the opportunity to like kill his partner on the show. He's like, let me just give her a little send off.
Yeah, it was pretty clear that we were not going to be able to go back to this planet, so we might as well just knock her one.
Yeah. This is such a good like one-off episode. It just absolutely gets me.
It is good. But apparently, when production wrapped, Renee told Brad Wright that Allah had a twin brother.
Yeah.
Who'd be more than happy to make an appearance in a future episode. That would have been cool.
And it's really too bad.
A bit cliche, but it would have been cool.
Well, this is Stargate. He could have come back as another character, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Completely. This is so good.
Oh. So the Jack and Carter stare off.
I was gonna say it's so.
Oh my god!
So
it's such a loaded look.
Yeah,
because she knows he's killing him.
About it yesterday, and I think it sort of comes down to Jack's disgust with himself and his actions. Like, according to Gateworld, Jack overlooked the moral issues tied to the war he knew nothing about to focus on acquiring the technology. But when he learnt that Eurondans may be waging an immoral racial war, he withdrew his support. So his guilt led to him helping their enemies and resulting in Allah's death. But instead of supporting what's right, he destroys what's wrong, which sort of like leads to the leader's demise. But yeah, it's just such a loaded look.
It's just the way that he intentionally said close the iris. They could have taken him prisoner and used him.
Yeah, they could have.
But Jack intentionally killed that man. But he did it by getting Walter to press the button. It's like, oh god.
And Sam almost just gave him like a up and down, like.
And it's so funny because Sam was on his side earlier.
Yeah, and she's almost rethinking how she originally perceived him.
There is so much subtext in this episode.
There is this episode honestly is like you know what, guys? Season 2 and 3 were tough for me because I wasn't able to talk about things as much. The amount I talked during this episode was like
perfectly appropriate.
So
do you need some water?
Yeah, I'm gonna drink out of my Kylo Ren glass.
Okay. Sorry, my cat here really wants some attention, so I'm just gonna.
So you bring him in.
Lock Watcher. The cloud scenes were from Firefox with Clint Eastwood.
No.
Okay. No, nor have I.
I don't have it in here, so I don't know where I put it. I might have got rid of it just because it was so torn up. But I do have a copy of the Alliances book that Dan Ben mentioned. I have 2 copies. One that's still usable.
You have to read it.
And one that I read so much that half the pages tore out.
All right. So... That was the other side. Okay.
That was, as Nicole would say, a good time.
That was a good time.
Very, very heavy subject matter.
Sure. Oh, it's so good. I love when Stargate gets like this.
Heavy water.
Heavy, like the water. So the last episode for me wasn't a 7. I'm saying it right now, 7. There you go. That's it, 7.
Yeah, I was also going to give it a 7. No hesitation. I think it's a fantastic episode.
I'll give it a 7 as well.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
You know what's funny? We enjoyed this
season 4.
We talked so much about this episode during the episode about all the fantastic little things.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of filler in terms of our wandering of our discussion. There wasn't a lot of wandering.
Empty anything, which just goes to show how much of a 7 this 7 is. You know, and it has so many things to talk about that are still relevant to this day. It's been over 20 years since this episode aired, and it's still relevant. You know,
sadly, racism is still relevant.
It's about humans. It's about conflict.
It's so good. It's such a human episode. You know,
there's a you know what? Let me see if I can find it. And this speaks volumes to there it is. Let's see here if I can send this to you guys here.
Okay.
Copy this link. Let me open this up, and I'll display it for people on the screen.
Okay.
Open image, new tab. Wait for me to read it. Just a moment. I appreciate everyone's patience, but there is a point to my point.
I'm sure there is. Okay.
Where have you sent it?
I've sent it to Wormhole Extremists on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
It's also one of the reasons that I don't easily love sports. Have you seen this, Nicole?
I've seen this before.
Okay, so top slide. What's this? Team A. Team B. Hello, Team A. Wow, F that guy.
Yeah.
And
it's simple, but
we are tribal.
Very poignant. Yeah.
We are by nature tribal.
It's like we just pick. Sometimes people just pick a team, and just because just for the sake of it, because it's there. Because it's opposing another thing.
I have met people like this. I mean, we all have, but they must win. They have to win.
Yes.
If especially if they can take you down in the process. And it's episodes like this that demonstrate the nature of humanity and what we are as a species. And anyone, I grow reticent around anyone who thinks that the human race can be engineered out of certain behaviors. I do believe and pray for a Federation kind of future, 24th century Star Trek kind of ideology. But you can't just superimpose that on us now and expect everything to work out okay. Yeah. Because you have to you have to destroy people's ability to get there on their own in order for that to happen, and that's not acceptable.
I read about this thing that I can't perfectly quote, but I'm sure if I say it, somebody will be able to will either know it or be able to Google it and find exactly that. But there's this thing that I've been looking at about this 80-year cycle of humanity, which is the average lifespan.
Oh, you're talking about the great turning. Is it the great turning?
Yes, Adam talks about this
every
all the time.
80 years, we're doomed to repeat ourselves.
Just
because it's the last generation of people who made these mistakes already and did all these things have come and gone.
The Strauss-Howe generational theory.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes,
and so all the World War II people that have survived all that chaos and horror are now dying out. And so we're almost out of those people. And so we are doomed to repeat those mistakes again, not far from now. We're
hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create bad hard times.
Yes, it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
it's awful. But and the way
we're heading towards the end of that cycle now.
The one I looked at was in 20-year increments, being okay, this 20 years is this 20 years is this, and how we build up, and then how everything's going to be. So I'm essentially waiting for that 20-year period where the money comes back, the market crashes, and I can afford a house. So fingers crossed. That's what I'm waiting for. But that's it. It's not nice. No, I think your generation. I'm praying that something happens.
May not be in your lifetime.
No, but maybe one day.
I'm not going to pray for a crash because that's going to be bloody and pretty.
Oh yeah, no,
awful.
I'm not actually praying for a crash that is terrible to other people. I'm praying for one that benefits me and everyone else.
Only benefits you. Oh, okay. You're not asking for much.
Where's the meme with the flag? Oh yes, I'm team. Was it Team A? I'm Team A. I'm not Team A. I don't believe in doing anybody any harm.
Oh my god.
No, I did trivia with Yvie and I wanted her to win and she won and I was happy for my boo. See, I'm perfectly capable of supporting B. Oh dear. I'm gonna read out what everyone's opinions are now.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Oh dear. Words are hard, guys.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. I do words good. So Lockwater said, I would give this a score of 7 chevrons. They're willing to take chances with this episode and did so. Yes. Renee is a veteran actor and that fit right into the Stargate franchise. Great episode. Robin Christensen said 7 out of 10. 7 out of 7. My brain broke. G&D Arta said Sam saw a whole new side to Jack. Yep, it was, but we saw a whole new side of Sam as well, so I enjoyed it. Jacob said, brilliant show, must be one of my top 10 of all time. 7 chevrons indeed. Jean Diarda says 7 out of 7. Good, smart episode. Gecko Fett said 6 out of 7. Anthony said 7. Dan Ben said 6. Becca said, agreed, 7. And Jed Ted says 7 chevrons, great moral message. So yeah. And there were some other comments, I think, from potentially, was it Jacob and Dan Ben and stuff, talking about how Teal'c's been around on the planet for a while. I'm sure he's watched TV and figured out what racism is, but then just, doesn't talk about it. Maybe. So
I'm not sure he's a big TV watcher.
He loves Star Wars.
He's a big movie watcher, that's for sure. So that's a good
Plays a lot of video games as well. Racism is a big part of that. I'm sure he's opened up GTA at one point and witnessed all that stuff as well. So
that's true. It's still pretty early on in his time on.
Yeah,
on Earth,
I really love that episode. I really love the way that it talks about humanity. I love my favorite thing about it is the conflict between SG-1. Like whenever they fight, it's a good time. And seeing Sam and Jack be so hard against Daniel for so much of that episode, and then watching the conflict on Amanda Tapping's face as she's kind of like, oh, you know, like, oh, Daniel's right. Why am I letting this cloud my judgment? And then watching it all flip around. It's nice to see Daniel win, you know, because he's a good boy. He's a good boy.
A good boy.
As you said a minute ago, winners and losers everywhere, all right?
I just think that
I'm a tribal man.
The reason this episode resonates so well with so many of us is because it's a lot more relatable than the Goa'uld. You know, we can't really relate to the Goa'ulds because we don't really have...
We haven't lived under a totalitarian regime.
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. But... you know, we've probably all maybe not experienced racism personally, but we're certainly aware of it.
Mm-hmm. At some point, someone has been mistreated for who they are.
Yeah,
you know?
So like I was going to say, I think there's some racism towards Latin American people. I got some lovely searches on the way to LA when I won the Stargate thing with MGM.
Searches?
I was the only one.
Searches.
I wasn't the I was the only one that wasn't allowed to check in early because I got randomly chosen for a search. And then there was a long line of other Latin women with me. And I was like, this can't be a coincidence. And I got checked for drugs. It was fun.
Yeah, so, my cousin has a Muslim surname, and they've my cousin and her husbands have had similar treatment in airport terminals.
Yeah, airports are fun for people that aren't just your bog standard white. So yeah, tough conversation there. But
TSA pre-check, we have that here in the United States. I cannot recommend that enough. So don't have to take my shoes off anymore. Don't have to take my belt off. Don't have to take my laptop out.
That's really good.
I wish we had that.
Yeah, I don't think we have that here.
Do you guys have Clear?
What is that?
It's to skip I think it's to skip the security process.
No.
Yeah.
I still have to take my laptop out of its bag.
Okay. Yeah, I got to take all my chargers out and stuff. So
I had to remove. I wore a hat the last time I flew. I had to take my hat off.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to add in as well, while we're talking about all this stuff, you know, not just race, you know, being a woman is pretty hard. I've definitely been treated very badly at different places of work for being a woman, for being young as well. I've been treated really badly because I was young, because so many of my colleagues are way older than me. And also I'm just what is it you called me, a sledgehammer of an individual, David, or something?
No, your personality.
Yeah,
I come in very aggressive.
I think you're compensating.
I am
for out of fear of being overlooked. So,
sure, yeah, let's go with that. I haven't done the psychology truly. Maybe I should go and find out.
Well, I think everyone has a degree. Almost everybody has a degree of what's the word that I want? Insecurity.
Yes, I'm extremely insecure.
I am insecure when it comes to being afraid that I'm not being understood. So I use big words to inflate my the appearance of my intelligence.
I deliberately dumb myself down and become louder sometimes just because I want to be I want people to laugh with me and at me because it's amusing. So a bit of that today, but that's just part of my thing.
But fear of being left out, what's that called?
FOMO?
FOMO, yeah.
FOMO.
Fear of missing out. Yeah.
I'm shocked that Yvie is my friend, given that I feel like I came in pretty sledgehammer and Yvie was just like, who the hell is this crazy woman? And somehow we're friends, and it kind of doesn't make sense.
I've always had friends that are more outgoing than me. Always.
Well, I
don't know why. So. I think maybe they just display just like a braveness that I just don't
have. Confidence that you want to like feed off.
Maybe.
Some people are good at surrounding themselves with people who compliment them.
I like having Yvie around me because Yvie is so calm and collected compared to me and organized. So like I try to feed off her calmness, and I hope that she enjoys some of my chaos.
It's one of the reasons
I do enjoy dabbling in your chaos. Yes.
It's one of the reasons that I chose this dynamic for this particular show, because as the chief host, I wanted someone who would stand up to me. And
I'll tell you what's what.
That's exactly right. But I also wanted someone that would take it good-naturedly when I would go, wham!
Yeah.
So,
that's me.
It's not just to be on YouTube broadcasting. You want to make an entertaining program. And then you've got someone in the group who kind of rounds us out, you know, and smooths away the edges. He goes, okay, settle down.
What was it you said during the trivia? Yvie, learn to
when
shut up or something.
Shut up.
What did she say?
You told me to shut up during trivia.
Shut up.
During trivia, it's so great.
She was getting very excited, and she kept on trying to give me hints or something to the answer to a question, but she just kept on talking and talking and talking and talking. I'm just like, oh my god, I can't think.
I can't remember what it was, but Yvie like perfectly. So I said it's like, and then Yvie was like, maybe shut up, and I was like, Jesus.
When you're a part,
it's before we started this.
It's also when you're a part of a larger panel too. Reading the room is not always an easy thing to do. So the people who love you will also be the first to kind of put you in your place. You know, if you start
Here's the thing, I'm actually
coloring
really
outside of the lines.
Good at mediating myself. It just really depends on what setting it is. In this kind of stuff, I have a middle ground where I kind of let myself go and I kind of calm down.
Oh yeah, and when you're announced as a winner, you kind of let yourself go and wake up the entire neighborhood.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. English houses are made of brick, not paper. America, so they can barely hear me.
All right, guys, this was a great episode, and it's interesting.
Can tell.
Look at the comments here. People are already talking about
I've triggered something.
Airport screenings. People talking about struggling finding and keeping friends. Robin Christensen, I totally relate.
Racism in Mass Effect. Aliens, how they all see each other, and humans are the bottom of the barrel in Mass Effect.
Oh, really? They are.
Thing. Yeah, they're considered the peasants.
Huh.
So, yeah, stock market. They were probably concerned about Nicole's stock market crash plan.
Yes, exactly.
I don't have a plan. I just want to buy a house.
Nicole's stock market. That's funny.
Crashed in 2008, and my mum bought a house for so cheap, and she's now like winning. Yeah. And I'm like, I can't afford to move out.
It's called buying the dip.
It's a bad time for me. I just moved to Australia, where like Yvie
it's
and
not
Adam
good here either. But we have a spare room.
Yeah, I just can't bring my dog. She'll eat your cats.
So
I don't know. I think they can stand off.
Let me pull up the calendar here. Okay. Next week, January the 14th at 12 noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, Upgrades and Crossroads. We're really swinging with some great episodes this season, and I'm looking.
And then we're taking a break.
Yes,
the week
from
after,
January
it's my
14th,
birthday weekend.
Right.
Correct.
So January 21st, we'll have a bit of a break here, and then we'll be back.
I'm in
January
London.
28th. That's right.
Yep.
You're already in London.
I've pushed Divide and Conquer and Window of Opportunity out by like a couple days, a week. Sorry guys, sorry Yvie, we won't be able to talk about all the Sam and Jack we're going to be able to eat, inhale. I'd inject that into my veins
Sam
if I
and
could.
Jack.
Oh, just like
yeah. I want to take it as a concentrated shot.
Yes, if I could, I would. Oh, David does not like.
Right. Not that I don't have a problem with needles, but I mean, come on. All right, I want to take some Sam and Jack directly.
No, Yvie meant a drink.
I was like a drink shot.
Okay.
Although directly into my veins doesn't sound like a bad thing.
I wanna think Sam and Jack. If they could just change my brain mapping to just only be that, I could like write my own fan fiction, like snap, you know.
All right, gang. We appreciate y'all tuning in for the opening of season 4. We'll be back next week with 2 more episodes on the Wormhole Extremists. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.